Hello and welcome to the Retreading Business YouTube channel. In the latest issue of the Retreadcast, we were fortunate enough to be able to interview Leandro Rigon, who is Vipal's International Business Director, and he talked at length about Vipal's global branding strategy. Unfortunately, within the confines of the Retreadcast magazine format, we were unable to broadcast the full interview. So here, for your viewing pleasure, is that interview in full. Leandro Rigon is the International Business Director at Vipal Rubber and has 15 years experience with the company in leading management positions, helping Vipal to become one of the most renowned thread rubber manufacturers in the world. We're very happy that he's able to join us today from Vipal's headquarters in Brazil. Leandro, thanks for joining the Retreadcast.
Hello, David. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be speaking with you.
Excellent. Leandro, today I wanted to focus on some of the marketing challenges that you're currently facing in the global retread market, particularly with regards to the development of the Vipal brand. So let me begin with this one. Over the years, Vipal has gradually increased its strength as a supplier of thread rubber in many global regions, to the point that the company can now arguably claim to be the largest thread rubber supplier to the retreading industry in the world. So how successful do you feel the company has been in translating that position into status as far as the position of the Vipal brand is concerned?
Well, Vipal Rubber was created not to be a small family business only. It was created with the will of being an option to the Brazilian market that in the time there was only imported products for tire repairs. That was the beginning of Vipal. And these products were not always affordable back in the 70s. And the option of doing repairs with pieces of old tubes and tires was too hard work and not really a quality product, final product, I would say. So the idea was to have a local production, a local product, which could be affordable for the market. And that was the beginning of Vipal. So as a solution for this segment of repairing, Vipal started to look into the tire business, and then the company was always looking at bringing technology, bringing a better way to make the repairs. And in this track, the company started to look into the retreading as well. So in the 80s, we started to work on the retreading materials when we launched the hot cure products of as camelbacks and rubber strips for the hot system. So that there was a little bit of the development of the company in that time, and then as there was only a few producers in Brazil and also in South America, it was a very fast development, and in the late 90s we started with our network, which is covering the Latin American market. So this was a big step for Vipal, because in that time most of the retreaders were related to a new tire company program or few independent suppliers. and that gave us uh, uh, good exposure to the market. And the program that we created here got a lot of engagement from the retreaders, because we were covering several brands of new tires in a guarantee, and a lot of training, a lot of work together with the customers, and then I think that was the best suitable program for the retarders here in Latin America. And the company always looked into bringing technology, bringing a good product, and the always will to develop products which could bring a better performance, a better application performance into the factories, and good results on the roads, was always the way that Vipal looked into its role in the business, right? So right. This was a great result on Vipal's role in the market, because we grew through this program, and we could develop a lot of ways to make it worth it, to use the program, to use the product, and develop the development of the factories, the infrastructure of the factories were also a massive investment and a lot of hard work, I would say. So that's, I think that's the main reason that Vipal could reach the stage we are now. As I think when you came to visit Vipal, you could see the technology in the factories, the labs. Each factory has a complete set of lab to check not only the final product, but also the raw materials and even its packages to comply with our documents and ISO, EcoVadis, and all the quality controls that we have.
Yeah, so talking specifically about marketing measures, what particular activities and strategies have you been employing to develop and elevate the awareness and positioning of the Vipal brand globally, and how does that differ across different markets around the world?
Well, our strategies are very simple. We mean to offer a state-of-the-art product, a comprehensive cost, a great solution to the users, and be present, supportive every minute in something that guarantees our participation in the world's retreading activity. Since our goal is to provide solutions, building a relationship with our customers to understand their needs and their business model is a must. I think being in the retreading business, not simply being in a business to succeed, you're gonna need to be passionate about it and supporting the industry as a whole. So Vipal is very involved with the retreading associations around the world, and it is also very important to bring the awareness from the government to the end user, the retreading, a part of being a safe and economically viable, which is a key industry for the circular economy concept.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's talk specifically about the European market for the moment, which is a challenging market in many ways. In Europe, the two key premium brands aimed at independent retailers have traditionally been Freiberg and Marangoni. Both of these companies have long-standing histories in their segments and continue to draw strong brand loyalty. So what strategies are you following to continue to penetrate the market in Europe? And how, if you have to penetrate the market by becoming a second supplier to some retailers, how do you elevate the perception of the Vipal brand in those circumstances?
Well, a premium brand is not easy to build, and it will be even more difficult to do in the markets you're not born into. Any market you step in, you have to prove your product is efficient, but you also have something more. You need something more to offer. It is a different thing talking about a premium product and a premium brand. So a brand recognition starts on your product, but goes away further in the consumer's mind, as their concerns are not only if the product will perform, but they need to see that you support it, and whenever they need, you are there. So a part of the product, you also need a complete line, technical and commercial service as well. Of course, we acknowledge that in Europe, which is a mature and conservative market, the brands mentioned in this question are the most powerful names in the independent market. And we have a great respect to the work and product that they have. For us, competing with high standard products like this and others, of course, not mentioned, is a great experience and feed us with respect to what they have been doing all these years. So in regards to the retreaders' choices, our goal is to have more and more confidence from them as we advance in our hard work to have the product and the package they need to consider us as a premium brand as well, and maybe be among the first brands options in their minds. I think that being a foreigner supplier requires harder work than the locals, and it makes us even more focused and dedicated to our projects. You can see when looking into different markets and its characteristics, like in South America, we are the leader here and the first option in the independent retreaders. So being a premium brand has a lot to do with the market history and traditions, of course. The European brands here are hardly seen, but it doesn't get them out of the list of premium brands. So Brazil has a very developed retreading market, which nowadays the retreadability is around 1.3 retreads per new tire. It means that the market look for also premium products and a good option to the different levels of offers that the retailer should work in their market. We have a lot of fleets here in Brazil and South America that have a very, very specific controls on the performance of the tires, the costs, and and retread here is very important, as the Brazilian market is self-sufficient in tires from new to retreads. So we try to work with our customers and give to the end user the best option. We are very confident with our product. We know that by the tests and following our performance in different regions in the world, as we now are present in more than 90 countries, we can be very sure that our product is a premium product. But of course, the image of a foreigner takes longer to build, and I think that we are in the right path.
Mm. Okay, well, you just touched on some of the tire testing that you've been doing in different markets. And clearly, marketing a brand to fleets in order to create demand is one of the ways of elevating a brand's position. So, tell me, how does your marketing approach in terms of fleets vary across the different markets in which you have a presence?
Yeah, I think that coming to the fleets when they don't have the full picture based on the history of its operation, in order to make an assertive decision when acquiring these items, sadly, purchasing decision comes on pricing, right? So we always try to show the cost benefit for the long haul. I mean, it's hard to. This work is very hard to do because sometimes fleets are looking to their pocket, to the moment, to the opportunities they have in the moment, and doesn't look at the future on how they can lower the cost of the tires. So, for example, we are investing in a tool that can work in this way to collect this information, and it can show the real picture of the cost of the tire and its performance in the operations. We presented the Vipal fleet in the show in Bologna last year, with the will to open this way with the fleets and try to build this concept of the cost benefit in through the time, right? Using the new tire and taking advantage of a good casing and going forward on the retreading, which can lower the cost significantly.
Okay, well, let's just talk briefly about economy brands, second line brands. Your Rusi brand is well developed in South America as a second brand within the Vipal product range. So how important is this brand within your portfolio globally? Can we expect the Rusi brand to become more important in other global regions as the company expands?
Well, Rusi has a very long history in Brazilian market, as it was one of the first local producers here in Brazil and South America. And Vipal acquired it in early 2000s as a strategic move to bring another range of products and service within its portfolio. Rusi was always a very good product and on a standard line, and had wide participation in the Brazilian market, also exporting to Latin America and occasionally to US and Europe. It became an important part of Vipal's portfolio as a standard product to combine with our premium line, which is the Vipal malt. So it is also an option for the retreaders in Latin America who are not within the Vipal's network, but trust on the quality of our products and somehow want to work with Vipal. So Russia has been taking its place on the international market, where there is a room for a standard line. However, our main focus is on our premium product, Vipal malt, which is the original Vipal's retreading line. I mean, so sometimes a premium is related to exclusivity in terms of range of product, as companies try to maintain a very strict line. So we believe that in our network system, we need to give all the options the customer needs, and then Ruzi comes to play this role when maybe the customer doesn't want to pay a higher price for a premium product, so Ruzi takes its place.
Let's talk a little bit about equipment. You spent considerable resources in developing a range of retreading machinery in South America, and you're now gradually expanding this to other markets around the world. In the next issue of Retreading Business, we'll be carrying an article about the number of machinery you've managed to sell since you launched the machinery division. But so tell me, how important do you feel this moving towards machinery will be in the process of elevating the Vipal market, the Vipal brand in markets like Europe?
Well, retreading equipment project was born as a solution for the Brazilian and South American market, since acquiring a European equipment involve economic challenges due to the taxes and exchange rate relation. So we are very excited to develop this line and already reached a very positive result, and that's because of the high standard of our first item, the Smart Duo VR01 buffer. So the expansion of Vipal machinery is natural, since the demand for the equipment comes from our existing customers. Nowadays, a part of several countries in South America, we have concrete transactions with retreaders in the USA, Central America, New Zealand, Spain, Australia, and it shows that a part of high quality products, the work of always pursuing to provide a superior service has reached the level of trust in which our customers feel comfortable. They can rely on us and even on new projects like this one. But it's important to state that our core business is the rubber products. So our focus will always be on the rubber. Nevertheless, we will of course offer our equipment to those who need and want to look after improvements on the industrial demand in the factories and have a good performance in their operations. And the high standards of our equipment can offer a reliable option in the market's portfolio.
Perfect. So there are still a few markets around the world where Vipal is less strong than others, and in particular I'm referring to much of South Asia and Southeast Asia. What are your plans with regards to these regions, and what role will branding play in your strategies for these parts of the world?
I think that the most exciting thing in the retreading activity is that there is still lots of ground to cover. And no doubt that we look into Asia with a great interest, but we also know that the competitiveness in the market is something very strong that we have to deal with. We don't want to make only one appearance, but something consistent, like everything we did until now. Everywhere where we stepped in was to stay and be constant and being a trusted supplier for the market. So I think that when we have a good opportunity to go for the Asian market, we will not. Of course, we look into it and try to do the right move. At this moment, we are supplying some countries, some customers in Asia, but I think that we have a lot of work to do in the markets that we are playing now, and Asia, it's a bigger step, right? So we have to look at with a different strategy, and as I said before, not being only a one appearance and off. I mean, it will take a lot more work to build the market in Asia.
Absolutely. Leandro, it's been brilliant talking to you. Thank you very much for your time. I'm looking forward to catching up with you in person soon. And in the meantime, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you at some point over the course of the next few months.